Yeah, well, let's look to the future a bit, and I'm very keen to get your position on nuclear energy. You know, of course, that Peter Dutton's running strongly on promoting a domestic nuclear power industry. Is that something that an LNP Queensland government would support?
Well, our priority on energy is making sure that energy is affordable and reliable at the moment. And our priority is getting Qld Power Station back online. It's been over 1,000 days. The coal-fired power station hasn't been back online. If we did that, the Auditor-General says it'll reduce power prices. Queenslanders want action now on power prices. In terms of nuclear, we've consistently said until both major political parties at a federal level agree on a way forward, then we don't see it progressing in Queensland. Our priority has to be at the moment the cost of living pressures, and that is the immediate cost of living pressures getting the coal-fired power station back online at Qld C and making sure those savings are put into Queenslanders' pockets on their power bills at the moment. That's our priority because that's what Queenslanders are telling us.
So even if the Queensland federal LNP leader Peter Dutton were to become Prime Minister and implement a domestic nuclear power industry, if you were in government, you wouldn't be supporting it until you got bipartisan support?
Well, our priority has to be what Queenslanders are talking to us at the moment about, Chris, and that's the coal-fired power stations and getting affordable and reliable power back on track at the moment. That's the thing we can do now. That debate is many, many years off, and we are facing an election in October, and we have to show Queenslanders what our plan is, and our plan is having affordable and reliable energy that goes back into the pockets of Queenslanders. Otherwise, we're going to have blackouts and brownouts with electricity. Electricity prices have increased over 19% in the last 2 years alone. That has to be our focus and our priority at the moment.
But that debate is in the here and now. It's a big part of Peter Dutton's federal potential election campaign, prospective election campaign. He can't deliver nuclear energy in this country unless he gets state governments on board. And you're saying even an LNP Queensland state government wouldn't support it?
Well, there's a lot of water to go under that bridge before that is the case, and I suspect we'll be at election before our federal counterparts. And I'm just saying, Chris, that's honestly what Queenslanders are talking to us about at the moment, and that was reflected on the weekend. I stood at the booths in Ipswich West and Inala, and every second person was talking about the cost of living crisis in Queensland now. People are hurting. They need to see their electricity bills reduce now, and that has to be our priority. That's just our focus at the moment because it's Queensland's focus.
All right, Jarrod Bleijie, just one other issue I want you to clear up for us. There's the report today on the Brisbane Olympics, the Queensland Olympics for 2032, suggesting that the Gabba rebuild should be abandoned in favour of a brand new stadium to be built at Victoria Park just north of the CBD. Is that program the one that the LNP would support?
Well, we've been pretty consistent on the Olympic and Paralympic Games waste that the Miles government has overseen and the Palaszczuk government oversaw with Miles as the responsible minister. We never supported the Gabba knockdown because we saw it go from $1 billion to $2.7 billion. And then today we find out through media that the Gabba knockdown was actually going to be $3.4 billion. How long has Stephen Miles known that his own pet baby project had blown out to $3.4 billion? We don't support these projects and stadiums unless there's business cases that back it up. That wasn't the case with the Gabba, and that's not what I've seen the case for new stadiums that are being announced by the government today.
Yeah, a long way to go on that one too. Thanks so much for joining us, Jarrod Bleijie.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers.